It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Hi everybody, and welcome into our show. Ever since this brutal heat wave hit back in late May and early June in the Southwest region, we've been talking to you about ways that you can beat the worst part of the heat and still have a great chance to catch some fish. So on today's show, we're going to give you one more of those techniques. Welcome into Lake Fork, Texas, everybody's favorite bass lake, but it's also loaded with crappie, white bass, catfish, and more. Now, right over my shoulder is a key element in escaping the heat. That's a bridge. On today's show, we're going to be fishing bridges and talking to you about why those fish congregate there in this heat and how you can manage to catch some of them. Now, those factors include shade, more oxygen content, a lower water temperature, and an ambush point where game fish can hide and ambush bait fish as they swim by. While I'm doing that, we're taking you around the Southwest region for your very latest fishing reports from Texas freshwater, along the Texas Gulf Coast, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, we'll be showing you some other lakes in our Southwest region where you can find some good bridges that will hold fish as well. We'll have the Ask the Pro, the Big Catch of the Week, the Academy, Right Stuff, and much more. First, we're taking you back to the FSN studios. Here's your Chevy weekend planner for this coming weekend.
Let's take a look at the Salooner tables for our last weekend in July. Peak daytime fishing will start at 10:20 a.m. on Saturday and 11:15 a.m. on Sunday. If you prefer night fishing with little moonlight, this weekend looks good. We've got a new moon beginning Saturday evening, and peak evening hours begin at 10:45. Expect the sun to rise at 6:39 a.m. and set at 8:27 p.m. Stay with us, we've got fishing updates from Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. Plus, I'll be back with your Ask the Pro question a little bit later. Have a great weekend, everyone.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors. Buy quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Lawrence, maker of the HDS, high-definition systems, and Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Look at him just churning the water up. Big ones. Got him. Got him. Look at this dude. Look at two of them. I got two. Look at this. Here's a first. Here's a first for you. Never done this before. Oh, two bass on the same little topwater plug. Man, this is a complete rodeo out here. There's one, and here is the second one, if I can keep from getting a hook in my hand. Two bass on the same cast, on the same bait. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Lake Fork today. You can see right here behind me, catching bass under a bridge. Well, let's set the stage right here. We came out here to crappie fish today and fished around several of these bridge pilings. Didn't get a bite on a crappie, and then all of a sudden these bass start blowing up all underneath that shade behind me. It's just a complete rodeo. They're doing it right now, all back there. So I put down my crappie rod, picked up a topwater plug, and immediately these bass just started going crazy. The water level at Lake Fork is down about 5 feet right now, so the lake's real low. So it pulls a lot of the cover up on the bank, up on dry land. And so a lot of these fish have pulled back to deeper water, real hot, and they're in the shade of that bridge. The shad are there, they're chasing the shad, and it's just a pretty incredible deal. All right, well, we're gonna do this for a little while and see if this is consistent enough to hold up for a little bit, show you a little bit more of this, but let's start you around your fishing reports around the Southwest region. Let's start off in Texas. Here's Brian Hughes with your freshwater report, followed by Bill Olson down on the coast.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters, your Texas destination for the ultimate in dove hunting. Now, this week we're going south to the border, Lake Falcon. Yes, I know there's travel advisories. I would suggest if you go in a big group. But if you've ever thought about going, now is the time. Big catches of fish, up to 100 fish a day being reported, and many of those are 6 pounds plus. Now, the group I talked to went down there and they were throwing spinner baits and crankbaits in 6 to 12 feet of water and just catching all the fish they could stand. Your sand bass fisherman, Ray Roberts, Cedar Creek, both lots of schooling sandies on top, and Texoma has schooling stripers. Now, these are not the big monsters Texoma's known for, but there are a lot of little fish out in the main lake. You'll just have to compete with the other boats. Use your slabs and live bait for these Texoma stripers. Now, let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. For the very best monthly coastal and inland fishing information, plus year-round hunting tips, check out our award-winning magazine. Pick up a copy of Texas Outdoors Journal on newsstands or subscribe securely at the website on the screen. As we head into the last weekend of July, look for redfish activity on the lower and middle coast to begin to increase. Schools have already been spotted and more redfish will begin to school up in advance of their migration to the Gulf, beginning in mid to late August through early September. Hot water has pushed speckled trout to deeper holes, or they try to bury up in deeper grass to escape the heat. The boat hole on the upper Laguna Madre, plus the entire intercoastal waterway from Sabine to Port Isabel, is holding fish. Fish the channel edges where channels occur that drain surrounding flats. Anglers fishing the deeper grass beds on the middle and lower coast are discovering that if they treat their soft plastic with ProCure, that is enhancing their bite. That's because ProCure is made from shrimp and menhaden. It's a better version to a technique some use of tipping their hook with a piece of shrimp. On light wind days, the beachfront continues to give up good catches of speckled trout. Look for bait or birds working over bait. Anglers fishing from the beachfront should begin the day fishing from the first bar. Those fishing from the boat will simply cast toward shore to the same area. Topwater lures, soft plastics, and spoons have all scored. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day. Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. See what's out there. And by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Got him. That's a bigger fish. Oh yeah. All right. Catching some bass at Lake Fork under the bridge. A little better fish right there. Come up here, darling. All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report today. On the road at Lake Fork, Texas. Came over here to catch some crappie and just ran into an incredible school of bass under the bridge. They're just churning up the top of the water. Nothing huge, just a lot of fish. And as a matter of fact, I think I can even just throw right here, watch this, right behind me. They're just all over the place in here. So one more cast in here and we're gonna, got him, just like that. Pretty amazing. There's that many fish schooled up in the shade of that bridge. All right, well, we got to get you along, check on some fishing reports from the rest of the region. So let's go up to Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dolliver.
Decisions. Schooling white bass on top, big largemouth bass at night. And that's a tough decision to make. But those are good options right now in this hottest part of summer. Most of our lakes have low water conditions. Most of them are down more than they typically would be this time of year. Water temperatures right now at most of our lakes are upper 80s and low 90s, but the fishing is still amazingly good. As far as the white bass, your typical white bass, really good lakes like Grand, Hudson, Fort Gibson, Lake Eufaula. Great schooling activity early and late in the day, and it's not unusual to encounter them also at high noon. So while you're out there, check them out. Always have that jig and spoon tied on. If they're schooling, you can make a long cast with that spoon into them. If they go down, let it flutter down. And even right now, if you've got a good chop on the water, you can go extremely shallow and also catch those sandies. A good little square-billed crankbait, and I'm talking as shallow as 2 feet of water, especially if there's some color to it. Obviously that's not going to be the case if the water's clear, but if you've got color, they're going to be shallow. Look for the shad activity. Largemouth bass at night. Ed Broderick recently reported on the same night Lake Okmulgee Lake catching 4 8-pounders. He was bottom bugging. Also, Bobby Myers from Jinx met up with Philip Hudnell from Oklahoma City. They went to Pawnee City Lake and also Fairfax Lake. Had good success at both those places. At Pawnee, they caught a 4.5-pound largemouth on a football jig, and then at Fairfax, they also caught a really nice smallmouth. They were throwing the Who Daddy as their soft plastic, the football jigs, both those produced well. You do want a large profile bait at night and something that has some noise features on it, such as the Who Daddy has the ribs. As far as colors, you want your soft plastics to be dark, and that's even true of your spinner baits and your topwater baits. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
The bass are schooling like crazy under the bridge here at Lake Fork. It's just been an amazing find out here to see bass actually blowing up on shad. There, he missed it. Here we go again. Watch this right here. Got him. Oh yeah. Wow. All right. Well, nothing really huge, but just good solid fish. A blast to catch on a topwater. Stay with us. Gonna do this for a little while. Take advantage of this. Might try to catch some crappie. That's actually what we came to do, is to do some crappie fishing on these bridge pilings. But when these bass are blowing up, it is hard to resist them. Stay with us. Cajun Phil and Kevin are up next from Louisiana.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability, by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors, and Mercury Marine.
Got him. Oh man, did you see that? Oh, look at this fish. This is a good one here. Let's see if I can get in here somewhere where I can land him. Got him. There we go, folks. Oh man, we got the topwater strike, the blow up. What an incredible deal. Hey, welcome back everybody. This is your Southwest Outdoors Report on Lake Fork today, doing the most unusual, unique thing I think I've ever done on the lake. I've caught tons of bass, tons of crappie. I fished under the bridge, but I've never caught bass schooling under the bridge like we're catching today. It's just been phenomenal. They've got these big balls of threadfin shad all ganged up under the shade of the bridges, and they're just schooling all up and down underneath there. And there is a really, really nice one. So if you're gonna do this, we're gonna let this one go back. See you, bud. So if you're gonna do this, you really need to keep what I've got. So I've got a spoon, just a jigging spoon, and you need to keep a topwater bait, and that's a topwater chugger, little plug right there that calls them to the top. You keep both of those handy and they'll bite, one or the other, and you just roam up and down the bridge, and you can also catch crappie right off the concrete pillars as well. All right, I'm gonna catch my breath from all that, and we're gonna take you to Louisiana. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
I guess you heard I was down at ICAST down in Las Vegas with old Barry Stokes. We had a great time seeing a lot of new products. Matter of fact, you just got to hang on. There's so many new products coming out for next year, you're not going to believe it. Let's start with Minn Kota Troll Motors. Tell you what, they got a new iPilot that just carries you around. You sit in the back of the boat, just tell the trolling motor where you want it to go, and it takes you right there. It'll follow the shoreline. Whatever you want to do, you just sit there with a little button, you click it, and it moves and turns for you. Don't need to be up there by the troller motor. They also have that new Talon, that shallow water anchor. It is unbelievable. It doesn't stick out behind the boat like most of the anchors do. This one snugs up against the boat, drops straight down. It's quieter, it's faster. It has what they call a rough water feature on it. Whenever the rough water goes and your boat's bouncing, it holds it right there in one place. Tell you what, Talon is going to make some waves. Tell you what, let's go to some fishing action right now. Captain Kevin's been tearing them up. Kev, what's happening, buddy?
As you can see right here, we had a good catch today. Got Mr. Eddie here from Florida. Eddie, we've been out at 3 days. What do you think about today's catch?
Kevin, it's just unbelievable. You know, you come down here, it's not like fishing in Florida, because this would be like a year's catch in Florida.
Yeah, today we had our 45 trout. We got 4 good reds, a couple pompano. We had a good down on the water. Most of these fish were caught on live shrimp, but the fishing out here on Calcasieu Lake is fabulous. Got a lot of birds working, a lot of school trout. We caught these offshore. Redfish, shallow oyster bars, soft plastics, or Johnson Gold weedless spoons seem to be the key there. If you want to make a trip, the number's on the screen. You can give us a call. Till next time, this is old Captain Kevin Broussard for Cajun Field saying happy fishing. May God bless you. We're going to see y'all next week.
This week on your Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I want to show you some other places, other lakes that have bridges that you can catch fish underneath here in the hot part of the summertime. So let's go to the Lowrance HDS-10, the big widescreen high-res unit with the Insight shaded relief mapping option installed here. And we're going to first go to Oklahoma and show you some bridges at Lake Eufaula near McAllister. The US 69 bridges near the city of Eufaula are good to fish under. Then we go to Lake Texoma and we show you that the US 377 and US 70 bridges near Kingston both will hold fish. Now let's go to Louisiana. Cross Lake near Shreveport has the big Interstate 220 bridge that crosses at lots of pillars and pilings to fish there. Then we come to Texas. Sam Rayburn, State Highway 147, the bridge between Zavala and Broadus, will have some crappie and some bass underneath it. And finally, Richland Chambers, the US 287 bridge coming out of Corsicana. I've caught lots of crappie and bass under that bridge as well. Okay, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have your Ask the Pro expert answers to your fishing questions, your big fish photos on the big catch of the week, and the Academy Right Stuff.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. By Navionics. Enjoy Navionics anytime, anywhere. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Ask the Pro feature. Our question this week is from an angler in Houston who writes, how does barometric pressure affect fishing? For the answer, let's check with fishing legend Guy Aker.
I think it's one of the biggest things that people overlook. I've fished these tournaments for 36, 37, almost 37 years. And it seems like every time you have a low pressure, it's like it turns the fish loose. They eat, they feed. High pressure puts them down there real tight and they're hard to catch. You got to adjust. That's a lot of times you can catch them on top water when low pressure comes in and they're real active. Then when that high pressure comes in, you got to take a jig or a tube or something and put it down in there and feed it to them. So it means a lot.
If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Now here's Barry with your Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
Hey, thanks very much. We're back here at Lake Fork with the boat on the trailer after a great day's fishing. Time right now for the Big Catch of the Week winner. He is Nicholas Lee of Friendswood, Texas. He's shown here with 2 big red snapper, 21 and 22 pounds. He caught offshore at Freeport, Texas. If you would like to enter your big fish photo in our contest and have a chance to have it shown here on the show, all you do is go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. top right-hand corner is where you register to become a member of our fan club. It's free to join. Once you do that, you'll have access to send in your big fish photo, send in your question on the Ask the Pro, check the Chevy Hooked on Fishing Kid Fish schedule of upcoming events for your kids, and read my weekly blog. Hey, don't forget that next week our show will be on in its regular time slot, 10:30 Thursday night, with no baseball game conflicts, and Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Always set your DVR for the Saturday morning airing because that time never changes. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and get lots of content that you'll never see here on the television show, including photos, video clips, comments from our reporters and from myself, and much more. It's Southwest Outdoors Report with Barry Stokes, Facebook.com. Also, at our YouTube channel, you can see all the past archived episodes of our show. So if you go on vacation, miss a couple of episodes, not to worry, you can catch up on the YouTube channel at youtube.com. It's time right now for the Academy Right Stuff feature, and if you're going to be fishing under these bridges, really if you'll have 3 baits tied on 3 different rods, you'll be in good shape. They would consist of a jigging spoon, and as you can see, I like to take off the treble hook, put a single hook on it, helps you get those fish on and off easier. Then we've got a little Bobby Garland baby shad crappie jig. It'll catch crappie, white bass, largemouths, and much more. And we've got a popper, a topwater chugger type bait. That's the bait that we caught every bass under this bridge at Lake Fork on today. Well, it was a great day. Hope you enjoyed it. One of the most unique experiences that I've ever been involved in is finding those fish schooling under those bridges today. And this should go on right through the rest of these hot summertime months at a lake near you. Thanks for joining us from Lake Fork, Texas. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.